welcome back to another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reignition video, where today we're going to take a look at the Tyrannosaurus battle bike. This does come with the Red Ranger, and it's quite a fun little set, and for me this is the first experience that we have with these new reignition non-flip head figures. So these are the same figures, to my knowledge, that come in the 6-pack. Now I have had this out of the box, because I have had a little look at it, and you can check out a little short on my Instagram. I have tried to put it back as best as I can, so apologies for that. But anyway, so this is going to be more of just an unboxing rather than a review, because I would like to review these figures in the 6-pack when they do eventually come. And we will of course take a little look at the battle bike. So looking at the front of the box, you can see nice window display. It does tell you a little bit about the figure itself and the set. So it's Tyrannosaurus battle bike with the Red Ranger, and it does a little flippy action there, and a little bit of mess just because some of it's fallen out where I've played around with it. On the back of the box, it does just show us what this does. So it's a 360-degree flipping action figure or bike. Little description that we've seen before from the reignition line, and a couple of little warning bits, so not a whole lot to that. I am excited to finally get this out on my display, so let's take a look at what we get inside the box. So like I said, I have already messed around with this, so apologies for that. So let's grab that. Nice little stand on the bike, which I didn't really notice too much of last time. We've got our belt. Of course, we've got our figure and some instructions telling us how to play around with it. So let's just have a really quick look at the figure. I think these are pretty good. They're not too bad at all. It's a shame that the morphers are wrong colour. If you were that bothered, you could paint it yourself. But I like the shape of the body. Compared to Hasbro's basic figures that they brought out a little while ago, or a few years ago anyway, they were very skinny. These look like they've got a little bit more about them. I like the shape of the helmet. Not too much detail, but there's enough on there to kind of see what it is that you're getting. But again, very basic figure. Now this retailed around 20 or 25 pound. I've got a feeling it might have been 25 pound. Obviously we're getting the figure, which would have been about a tenner anyway, plus the bike. Here is our little harness for him. And then looking at the bike, this is what our flipping action thing is gonna do. And then of course we've got our bike with a little movable stand, so we can make sure he stands up. Got a little blaster or whatever on the front. Nice 90s exhaust there, and yeah, a little lever for the seat. And as I said, I'm not going to fully review this. I'm not going to go through the articulation or anything like that, but I will do a small comparison in a little while, because I do have something else I can compare this with. So let's strap his harness on anyway, and I believe that goes up in there. Just pop that in the hole like that. So there he is with his harness on. Again, no weapons with this, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's just kind of what it is, unfortunately. This is a little bit of a pain, just work out how we want it to go, because this bit does flip, so you can see that's on a little springy action, and we want to make sure that he does flip the right way. So let's push that bit of seat back in. And there he is on his bike, so I think you should be okay. So there he is sitting on the bike. You can't really see too much of the harness behind him if you've got it at a certain angle, but obviously you can tell this is a kid's toy, so it is obviously designed just to be played with, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. The wheels do move quite nicely, so I'm going to push that back in, and you can see him riding around, pulling a wheelie, a little stoppy, whatever you want. So yeah, really nice little bike there. Again, just normal, regular, cheap kind of plastic. So let's put this into action and see how he goes. Here we got our Pay. He's facing Angel Grove and trying to destroy the city. So let's bring in the Red Ranger. Yeah. There we go, he sits quite nicely. He did destroy the putty, so the putty's head is on a spin. So yeah, quite a nice little plaything. My kids would love playing with this, so again, definitely more aimed at kids, as we would expect. So I'm going to stick that on there just so we can make sure that when he's displayed, he doesn't go flying off. You can obviously adjust the feet a little bit so they're a bit more up. And he looks like he's actually riding a bike. So I'm going to put the stand down, and there we've got our Red Ranger on his bike. I just thought I'd bring this in just to show you the difference in the two. So here you can see we've got our 90s one. This is the Thunder bike with the Red Ranger. Got to admit, quite a lot more detail on this one. It is a completely different bike, don't get me wrong. So it's not supposed to be the same kind of thing as far as I'm aware. Loving the style of the 90s box, obviously, but I don't think the Playmates one's too bad. I like all the helmets down the side of it, so very happy with that. And there he is riding off into the sunset. Again, this was just a short unboxing just to show you just what the figure does, really, more than anything. I didn't want to go in full review mode for this just because I'd like to review the 6-pack when I do eventually get hold of those. And I don't want this figure to kind of tarnish that, which I don't think it would do, but obviously it's just going to be the same figure, so I didn't really see any point, and I did just want to concentrate a little bit more on the bike itself. For the price point, don't think it's too bad. £25 or £20, whatever it was. I'm pretty sure it was £25. What you see is what you get. It would have been a little bit better if he'd had a sword. He kind of jumped off of the bike and hit the putty with the sword, would have been pretty cool. But just to display with the other Playmates figures, I think this would display quite nicely as he sits on his bike. I would recommend picking it up, or if you're going to buy it as a gift for your kids, it's absolutely worth it. But obviously this is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like these kind of videos, please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty more reviews coming in the upcoming weeks, and lots of bits to show you, as well as the next section of the Build a Megazord. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and thank you as always for watching. I'll catch you guys very, very soon.